Good morning, children. Welcome back to our history class. Today I am going to teach you History Chapter 7, that is the administrations of the Swaraj. Now let us start with the introductions. The Swaraj comprising large areas of Nasik, Pune, Satara, Sangli, Kolhapur, Sindhudurg, Ratnagiri, Raigad, Thane district in Maharashtra and part of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. See children, it's very difficult. Maharaj not only made Swaraj only for the Maharashtra, India 50% of our India was ruled by Maratha people in the olden days, in the medieval period, and it is very difficult for the Maharaj to look after one person. So he has done to ensure the smooth management of the affairs of the Swaraj and people's welfare. Shivaji Maharaj set up an efficient administration that we are going to learn in this chapter now. Let us see what is the efficient administration. Now that efficient administration is called Ashtapradhan Mandal. Now at the time of his coronation, Shivaji Maharaj appointed a council of 8 ministers. That administration was divided into 8 departments. You can see children in these pictures like how he divided 8 departments. A head was appointed for each department. These 8 head of the department constituted the Hashtapradhan Mandal. Maharaj alone had the power to appoint the ministers or to remove him from his position. The ministers were answerable to Maharaj for the administrations of their respective department. Each Shivaji Maharaj selected the council on the basis of their merit and their achievement, their bravery, and he used to give them salaries, handsome salaries instead of jagis, vatans, or gift or field to the ministers. Okay, children. Now let us see what the Ashtapradhan Mandal of Shivaji Maharaj says. Now your name of the serial numbers given 1 to 8, ministers name given, their designation and his work. Let us see one by one. Now Morak Trimbak Pengle, he was Pradhan and running the administrations and making the arrangement of the conquered territories. Now second minister is Ramchandra Nilkant Mujumdar. His designation was Amtir, keeping the accounts of the state. Third one is Annaji Datto, Sachiv. His designation was Sachiv, preparing royal edict. Fourth one is Dattaji Trimbak Vaknes. His designation is Mantri and his work is correspondence, looking after the keeping the written records and giving reply to the sender. Hambirao Moiti, he was the fifth minister. His designation was Senapati, organization of the army and protections of the kingdom. He used to organize the army and his work is to give the training to the army peoples and help whenever needed at the time of the protections for our kingdom. And sixth one is Ramchandra Trimbak Dhabir. His designation was Sumant and he used to keep the foreign relations. Now next one is seventh one is Niraji Rajje. His designation was Nayadish and his work is dispensing justice, giving justice to the people. Eighth one is Moreshwar Panditrao. Panditrao was his designation. He used to look after the religious matters. Like this 8 departments Shivaji Maharaj made for smooth functionings of our country. Okay, now next what he had decided, he was decided to see after the policy regarding agriculture, as agriculture was the main occupations in the village. Maharaj knew the importance of agriculture. That's why he paid more attention to the welfare of farmers. He entrusted the responsibility of organizing the land revenue system. The land revenue system to the capable and experienced office bearer, that is Annaji Datto, was entrusted the responsibility of organizing land revenue system. and officers were warned not to collect more revenue than the amount that was fixed. How much amount is fixed for the tax? That much amount only they will collect from the people, not more than that they will collect. If the more than that they will collect, the punishment will be given to the particular persons. He encouraged the peasant to bring an uncultivated land under cultivation. He also encouraged the peasants to bring the uncultivated land under the cultivation. Remission in the land revenue was granted when there was excessive rainfall, famine, devastation caused by the enemy's army. If suppose suddenly because of natural disaster all agriculture field will be lost, at that time the officers were interested to provide bullocks, plough and good quality seeds. Like this in agriculture section also Shivaji Maharaj made a good progress. Now the next our topic is village economy. As children, village economy of also very important, because at the time agriculture was the backbone of the rural economic people. In village many occupations was there, like artisans and other occupations, but agriculture was the main occupation there. Now in the farmers in return gave a share of agriculture produced baluta to the artisans. Like this farmer used to produce wheat, rice, jawar, vegetables like this in the own farming. As artisans they used to produce the pots, vessels like this, and what are the tools and equipments required for the agriculture department. Like this agriculture people will take the instrument, weapons, or whatever the plow that needed for the agriculture, they used to take from the artisans, a pot, everything, and instead of that they used to give the rice or wheat or vegetables to the artisans, and artisans will provide the useful vessels for them. Like this baluta system started in our country itself. So for this what will happen, all people have to whatever the things they needed they will exchange and they will satisfy. Like this village economy also introduced by Shivaji Maharaj. Now next is intention was to develop trade and business. As Maharaj know that kingdom does not prosperous without an increase in trade, and trade is very important. If you develop trade and business in any field, you can get more income, as Shivaji Maharaj understood. So because of that he decided to set up a trade and business in our own country. As per Maharaj, in Agnyapatra, merchants are the ornaments of the kingdom and glory of the king, as trade and business is one type of ornament for our kingdom, and it is very glory of our king. Maharaj charged heavy duty on the imported goods, thus protecting the local industries such as salt industries in the Konkan. At the time, salt industries were in our place also, like Konkan. But many of the local people used to purchase the salt from the Portuguese territory. They used to give at the lowest cost, so they even our local people also they used to purchase the salt from the Portuguese territory. As Shivaji Maharaj heard this, some all peoples are purchasing salt from the Portuguese territory. He increased the tax rate for importing goods. As the tax rate of import good increase, Portuguese also increased the salt rate. As the salt rate gone high, the local people understood the importance of our local productions, and they stopped buying the salt from the Portuguese territory. They purchased from our own factory, like where the factory was located in our place Konkan, and they purchased that goods only, and our domestic trade increased. In this way, in this tactics like purchasing from other country also Shivaji Maharaj stopped, and more productions were developed in our inside domestic country only. So like this he made increase in trade and business also. Now next one topic is what children, military organization, and military organizations is very important. There are two divisions in the military organization, that is infantry and cavalry. Children's infantry means the persons appointed by the state and given all the equipments, everything. And the cavalry persons, they have their own horse, own equipment, etc. But in the both of them, there is no difference. They both are soldiers for our country. And same work they both are doing. Now Havaldar and Jumedars were the officers, and Sornabat was the highest officer of the army. Now Shiledar and Bargis were the cavalrymen, and Sornabat was the highest officer of the cavalry. Like this, he has made military organization to protect from the enemies. Now next, Shivaji Maharaj's intention was to appoint an intelligence department. In intelligence department, it was necessary. It was very much necessary to protect our country and to protect our Swaraj from the enemy's territory. For these, it was necessary to get the timely informations from the enemies. The intelligence department collected precise and timely information about the movement of the enemy and submitted it to Maharaj. And the Bahirji Naik was the head person of this intelligence department. He used to collect each and every territories up to date information and proceed to Shivaji Maharaj. And when he collected accurate and detailed information about Surat before the raid on Surat. Like this, he used to give the up-to-date information to Shivaji Maharaj. So it will be very useful for the Shivaji Maharaj to, according to that, to take the steps. Now next, Shivaji Maharaj's intention moved toward the forts. And as you all know, children, forts are very important at the time of the medieval age. As possession of a fort made it possible to keep eye on the surrounding area. In case of foreigners' invasion, it was possible to protect the people taking shelter in the fort, and it was possible to stock the fort with food grains and materials, war ammunitions and military garrison, etc. Because of this importance of fort in the foundation of Swaraj, Shivaji Maharaj built many forts. There were about 300 forts in the Swaraj. Kiledar, Sabnis and Karkanis were the officers of every fort. They used to look after these all things. Like this, fort also given more importance at the time. Next one, as Shivaji Maharaj know the importance of fort, and he built two main sea forts. That is, one is Sindhudurg and the other is Padmadurg. Now Maharaj know the importance of sea fort. He built Sindhudurga fort at Malwan on the west coast, and he built Padmadurga near Rajapur to overshadow the Rajapur of the Siddhi. Like this, two forts built by the Shivaji Maharaj in the sea fort. Okay, children. Now let us see the navy. Navy, after the sea fort, Shivaji Maharaj next action was navy. Enemies on the west coast of India, the Portuguese of the Goa, the Siddhis of Janjira and the British factors of Surat and Rajapur created obstacle in the work of expanding Swaraj. Because of this, it was necessary to curb the activities of the enemies, and to protect the west coast, Maharaj raised a navy. Because of this, to protect from the Portuguese, Goa, Siddhi, British and Rajapur. They will create very problem for us Swaraj. Because of these, Shivaji Maharaj built a navy. He realized that to control the sea, it is necessary to have a navy. Navy consists of 400 ships like Gurab and Galbat. Okay, children, and these ships, Gurab, Galbat and Pal also, these are the battleships. This is very useful at the time of the battles. Now, they included battleships like Garab, Gulbat and Pal ships were built in the very rich place Creek of Kalyan, Bhiwanti, Vijaydurg and Malwan, Mayank Bhandari and Daulat Khan. These two people, Mayank Bhandari and Daulat Khan, were the chief naval commanders. They used to look after the ships, everything, and near the navy. Concern for the welfare of his subject. These are the ships and this is naval fort Shivaji Maharaj built, so enemy peoples could not it is not possible for the enemy people to enter easily and attack the Swaraj. Now next one is concerns of the welfare of his subject. The main objectives of Maharaj was to make his subject independent. He was aware that the subject to enjoy freedom, disciplined administration, comprehensive care of the people and protections of conquered territory was necessary. Maharaj was a watchful administrator who cared for his people and welfare. As all you know, Maharaj was a very good person for running the administration and he loved our country too much, so because of that every times he need the welfare of the people. Okay children, like this Shivaji Maharaj did many good things for our country. Thank you children, this lesson finished here. Now we will meet with the new lessons.